Welcome back to Majestic Mondaze. And if you've been with me all month, we walk through something together. Not just motivation, not just ideas, but movement. Week 1, we stopped waiting for permission. Week 2, we stopped waiting to feel ready. Week 3, we built discipline through self respect. Week 4, we challenged ourselves to stop playing small. And now we arrive here, the embodiment, because the point of all that reflection, action, and expansion was never just to do more. The point was to become someone who trusts themselves. So today, we're talking about what it means to walk like it's already yours, not arrogantly, not recklessly, but with quiet certainty. The difference between chasing and embodying. Let's talk about it. There's a huge difference between chasing a life and embodying one. When you're chasing something, you're always reaching, you're hustling, you're trying to prove yourself, you're asking the world, do I deserve this yet? And that energy feels frantic. hmm But when you embody something, you move differently. You're not begging for space, you're occupying it. You're not constantly proving your worth, you're expressing it. You're not chasing opportunity, you're aligning with it. And that shift happens internally first, before the promotions, before the recognition, before the wins. And I mean the big wins. Embodiment starts in how you see yourself. So let's look at it as identity before reality. Everything you're building in your life has an identity attached to it. If you want to lead, you have to see yourself as a leader. If you want freedom, you have to see yourself as someone who creates it. If you want growth, you have to see yourself as someone capable of holding it. Because reality tends to mirror identity. That's why two people can have the same opportunity and respond completely differently. One hesitates, the other moves forward. Not because one is more talented, let's get that out the way, but because one person believes they belong there. Again, identity shapes behavior, behavior shapes outcomes. So if you want your life to expand, your identity has to expand first. Now let's talk about confidence because we often imagine confidence as loud. And let me tell you, confidence is not loud. Real confidence is calm. It doesn't over explain. It doesn't rush. It doesn't panic when things don't go perfectly. It simply trusts. It trusts the process. It trusts the learning. It trusts the mistakes are part of growth. hmm Like think about the version of yourself that already has the life you're building, right? How do they move through challenges? They don't spiral at every obstacle. They adjust. They calibrate. recalibrate, I would say, and then keep going. That's the difference between reacting and leading. Because confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the presence of self trust. Take a moment with me and reflect on this past month. What shifted? Maybe something subtle, maybe something significant. Maybe you initiated a conversation that you had been avoiding. Maybe you followed through on a commitment to yourself. Maybe you stepped into a new opportunity. Maybe you created structure where there used to be chaos. Or maybe the shift was internal. Maybe you started seeing yourself differently. Because sometimes the most powerful transformation happens quietly. But quiet transformation still rewrites your future. Growth is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just you responding to life with more awareness, more discipline, and more courage than you had before. The responsibility of alignment, okay? Here's something important to understand. Once you've experienced alignment, it becomes harder to ignore misalignment. And that's one thing that I have to remind myself because you begin to notice when something feels off. hmm A habit, a relationship, a pattern. And that awareness brings responsibility. hmm Because once you see it, you cannot pretend you don't. And I've been trying to gaslight myself. I'll tell you guys that right now. Alignment asks you to keep choosing what supports your growth, right? Not perfectly, but intentionally. And that right there, that's the work. So, what does it actually mean to walk like it's already yours? Mm, it means making decisions from your future self's perspective, right? It means speaking with clarity. It means setting boundaries without apology. Mm, it means showing up consistently, even when motivation fluctuates, because it will. It means mm, remembering that you're not building a life overnight. You're building it through repeated choices. And again, those choices compound day by day, habit by habit, decision by decision. And eventually, the life you once imagined becomes the life you're actually living. So, as we close this month, I want to leave you with this reminder. You're not starting from scratch. You are building from experience in every lesson, in every mistake, in every breakthrough. It's all part of the foundation you're standing on. So walk forward differently, not rushed, not desperate, but steady. Walk like the life you're building already belongs to you. Because the moment you start believing that, your actions begin to match it. And that, honey, is when transformation becomes real. Thank you guys so much for, marching through March with me, right? And you are doing so well. You are doing amazing. You are pushing through. You are allowing yourself to rest. You're allowing yourself to trust in yourself, in your abilities, in your actions, and you are transforming the way that you need to and the way that you want to. And remember, you have a responsibility and you owe that to yourself to create the life that you want. Again, thank you for tapping in with me, and I will speak to y'all next week.